Dear students, in today's class I am going to continue the aspects relating to income tax. In my previous classes, what I have covered the theoretical aspects of income tax. So the unit number 2, it begins with the practical aspects. So today itself only I am going to start the practical classes. So previously I have explained you theoretical aspects. If there is anything is left, I will send you the text note on your group. Okay, today we will begin with the second unit, that is residential status. Here, what is residential status? In the case of income tax, while computing the tax liability, first of all, most importantly, we have to consider the residential status. That means belongingness of a person to a particular nation. That is called as residential status. Belongingness of a particular person to a particular country, that is called as residential status. For example, take myself. I have born in India, I am living in India. So therefore, I belong to India. My residential status is Indian. My residential status is Indian. If I have born in India, but since last 10 years I am not at all in India, I am staying outside of the India, then my status will not be as an Indian citizen. It will be non-resident. It will be treated as a non-resident. So therefore, here residential status, it is nothing but the belongingness of a person to a particular country, that is called as residential status. At the time of calculating the tax liability, most importantly we have to consider the residential status. Because if I am not an Indian, I have born in India, but since last 10 years I am living outside of the India, in that case, whatever the income is earned by me, I will pay income tax in that particular country where I am living. I am not supposed to pay income tax to India because I am not staying here. Because I am not staying in India, therefore I will not make any payment of income tax to India, even if I have born here only. But I am living in some other countries. If I am living in India itself, if I am earning any income, then I must pay income tax. If I become resident of India, then only I have to pay income tax. If I become non-resident of India, then I don't need to pay income tax. So therefore, there is requirement of identifying or ascertaining residential status of a person. Okay, on this residential status, tax will be imposed. Therefore, at the time of ascertaining residential status, what type of step we have to take? Right? So for that purpose, we have to go through 4 conditions. We have to go through 4 conditions. Those 4 conditions are classified into 2 types. One is basic conditions. In basic conditions, 2 conditions are there. And second one, additional conditions. In additional conditions, 2 conditions are there. On these 4 condition basis, we have to ascertain the residential status of a person. Okay, by the application of these conditions, these 4 conditions. Okay, so before I come to these basic conditions, already in my previous class I have explained you what is previous year and what is assessment year. For more information, you can watch that video. Okay, so in today's class, as my previous explanation, our present previous year is 2019-20. Our present previous year is 2019 and 20. Till this entire year, you have to remember that our present previous year is 2019 and 20. It is our present previous year. Okay, so after that, I will come to conditions. So first one is basic condition. Basic conditions, 2 conditions are there. 2 conditions are there. In these 2 conditions, a person has to fulfill at least one condition. At least one condition or 2 conditions. Okay, so if any person fulfills any one of these basic conditions, he will be treated as resident. Are you understanding my point? Very simple. 2 basic conditions are there. In these 2 basic conditions, one or both conditions are to be fulfilled, then only that person is called as resident. What are those basic conditions? Let us see one by one. First condition. he should be in India for 182 days or more in previous year. What is our present previous year? 2019 and 20. So in this previous year, that particular person must be in India at least for how many days? At least for 182 days. If he stays in India for 182 days during the previous year, that means he has fulfilled first basic condition. If he stays in India for less than 182 days, then he will not fulfill the condition. Okay, then we have to go for another condition. Okay, so basic condition number 1 is quite simple. He should stay in the present previous year for minimum 182 days. 182 days are more than 182 days in India. Then first condition will be fulfilled. And then second one, he should be in India for 60 days. He should be in India for 60 days or more in previous year. Okay, he should be in India for 60 days or more. That means present previous year 2019 and 20, and he has to stay in India at least for how many days? At least for 60 days. At least means 60 or more than 60 days he has to stay in India. This is first one, and condition will be continued, and 365 days or more in 4 previous years preceding to present previous year. So after this 60 days condition, another condition is that he has to stay in India for 365 days. Okay, so 365 days or more in 4 previous years preceding to present previous year. So our present previous year 2019 and 20. Preceding means the year behind of it. Preceding means the year behind of it. So 2019 and 20. So behind these 4 previous years, we have to consider 4 previous years. 2019, 20, 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17, 15, 16. So these are the 4 preceding previous years. These are the 4 preceding previous years. In these 4 preceding previous years, how many days he has to stay in India? He has to stay in India for 365 days. He has to stay in India for 365 days. In basic condition number 2, 2 conditions are there. In the present previous year, he has to stay in India for how many days? For 60 days. That is in 2019 and 20. After that, the present previous year, the 4 preceding years. Our present previous year is 1920. So behind that, we have to consider 4 previous years. That means 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17, and 15, 16. In these 4 preceding previous years, he has to stay in India for 365 days. If he stays in India for 60 days during the present previous year, after that, if he stays for 365 days preceding 4 previous years, then the basic condition number 2 will be fulfilled. Basic condition number 2 will be fulfilled. So these are the 2 basic conditions. These are the 2 basic conditions. So here what we have to consider, if any person, if he fulfills any one or both basic conditions, he will be treated as what? He will be treated as a resident. So first we have to apply these 2 basic conditions. If a person does not satisfy any of these basic conditions, if a person does not satisfy any of these 2 conditions, then he will be treated as a non-resident. Then he will be treated as a non-resident. To become resident of India, he has to fulfill any one or both conditions. If he does not satisfy any one of the basic conditions, then he will be treated as a non-resident. So this is about basic conditions. After studying basic conditions, we come to know whether a person becomes resident or non-resident. If he becomes resident by fulfilling one or both conditions, if he becomes resident, then again we have to ascertain whether he is ordinarily resident or not ordinarily resident. Very that. After ascertaining his residential status, if he becomes a resident, so then we have to ascertain whether he is ordinarily resident or not ordinarily resident. I am writing here. Ordinary resident. Another one is not ordinary resident. One thing you have to keep one thing in your mind: if he becomes resident, then only we ascertain whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. If he becomes non-resident, we don't need to ascertain whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident, because first of all he has become non-resident. In that case, if he has become resident only, then we have to go for these two: ordinary resident and non ordinary resident. Right? So to ascertain ordinary resident or not ordinary resident, what we have to do? We have to apply additional conditions. We have to apply additional conditions. Two additional conditions are there. Two additional conditions are there. So first additional condition: he should be in India for 2 years in last 10 previous years preceding to present previous years. Right? The meaning of this one is quite simple. He has to stay in India for 2 years. In how many years? In last 10 years. In last 10 previous years. What 10 previous years? What 10 previous years? Preceding present previous years. Okay? See, this is our present previous year. We have to consider the previous years behind of this for 10 years. So 2019 and 20. This is our present previous year. Behind of this, we have to consider 10 preceding previous years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they are the 10 last preceding previous years. In these 10 preceding previous years, in these 10 preceding previous years, he has to stay in India for how many years? 2 years. In these 10 years, he has to stay in India for 2 years. At least for 2 years. That is our first additional condition. He has to stay in India for 2 years in 10 previous years preceding to present previous year. This is the first additional condition. So after that, second additional condition. Second additional condition I have written here. He should be in India for 730 days. He should be in India for 730 days or more in 7 preceding previous years. Whatever the 7 preceding previous years are there, in those 7 preceding previous years, he has to stay in India for how many days? For 730 days. Okay, so this is our present previous year. We need to consider the 7 preceding previous years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to here. In these 7 preceding previous years, how many days he has to stay in India? For 730 days. For 730 days. If he stays in India for 730 days, okay, during these 7 preceding previous years, that means he has to fulfill the condition number 2. Additional condition number 2. This is additional condition number 2. Okay, so see, first of all, if a person fulfills any one of the basic conditions or both basic conditions, he becomes a resident. If he becomes resident, now we need to ascertain whether he is ordinary resident or not ordinary resident. For this, we have to apply both additional conditions that I have explained you right now. Okay, if a person after becoming resident, if he fulfills both additional conditions, not single, both additional conditions. First of all, he has to become resident. Then he has to fulfill both the additional conditions. In that case, he becomes ordinary resident. In that case, he becomes ordinary resident. To be called as ordinary resident, he should fulfill both additional conditions, not one, both additional conditions. Okay, so if he fails to fulfill any one or both, if any one or both additional conditions. Okay, so for example, he has fulfilled additional condition number 1, but he has not fulfilled additional condition number 2. Then he has failed. So he should fulfill both conditions. If he fulfills both conditions, then he becomes ordinary resident. If he fails to fulfill any one of the additional conditions, then he becomes non-ordinary resident. This is about residential status. Okay, so three types of classification. Resident. If he becomes resident, he may be ordinary resident or non-ordinary resident. If he does not fulfill any one of the basic conditions, he becomes non-resident. Okay, non-resident, ordinary resident, and non-ordinary resident. In these three cases, tax will be imposed on the basis of their residential status. Tax will be imposed on the basis of their residential status. How tax is going to be imposed on non-resident, ordinary resident, and non-ordinary resident? In subsequent classes, we will come to know. Okay. So today, what I have done, I have just explained you the conditions. Residential status conditions. Two basic conditions are there. Two additional conditions are there. Okay. So watch this video repeatedly because I am doing online class, not offline class. If it was offline class, I could have seen your face, then I could have understood to what extent you are grasping this one. But this is online class. Therefore, if you have any doubt, if you need any clarification, please write your doubts and send it to group. I will solve your problems. I will solve your doubts. Okay. So from my next class onwards, let us solve some practical problems. So therefore, I am telling you one thing. From next class onwards, you should be having separate notebook for income tax. I will solve some problems on notes, and I will give you the same problems that you have to solve and send in group. This is compulsory. Okay. So and attendance of online classes also compulsory. What I have observed in my previous class, so many students, they have not watched my previous video, but it will not be accepted. Everyone must watch these videos. Okay. Thank you.